Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Merchant of Venice, and today we get to hear from Bassanio in Act 5, Scene 1. There's only one scene in Act 5. So the trial is over. Antonio was acquitted, set free, awarded half of Shylock's property, which he decided he didn't need, but instead that money and / property should be put into a trust for Jessica and Lorenzo, and Shylock has to become a Christian. That's why he would give up that money. So anyway, Antonio and Bassanio and Graziano and everybody is headed back to Belmont, to Portia's house, because Bassanio is now married to Portia, so he's going home to her. She was actually there. She was the quote-unquote lawyer named Balthazar who allowed Antonio to win the trial, or spun the argument so that Antonio would win the trial, however you want to say that. So anyway, Portia and Nerissa make it back to Portia's house just really briefly before Bassanio and that whole gang get there. And they're there early enough to tell Lorenzo and Jessica and everybody else who works in the house, like, don't tell anybody that we've been gone for a while. Make it look like everybody's been here. So that happens. There's a trumpet sound. They're like, oh, that's Bassanio and crew. Bassanio and crew come in, and Portia exchanges niceties. There's the whole, oh, you must be Antonio. Yep, this is Antonio, and this is Bassanio, and I owe him so much, and blah, 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 blah. And while all those niceties are going on, Graziano has gone over to say hello to Nerissa, but Nerissa can't hold it in anymore, because remember, when Portia and Nerissa were dressed up as boys, they each managed to get a ring from their respective husbands that they had given to their respective husbands, making their respective husbands promise to never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, part with these rings. But they managed to get them. So Portia and Nerissa are in possession of the rings they had given their husbands, that their husbands had sworn to never give away or lose or anything like that. And Nerissa is really excited about, like, getting to mess with things. So while the welcome stuff is going on over here, Graziano and Nerissa are over here, and she's like, you don't have the ring? Seriously? I gave you one thing. I gave you one thing. I gave you this ring to look out for, and you couldn't hold on to just the one. And Graziano was like, but I had to give it away. And yeah, that's Graziano. Bassanio over here is like, oh crap, I should probably just, like, cut off my hand now and tell her that that's why I don't have the ring. And Graziano's like, Bassanio doesn't have his either. He gave it away to pay the good Dr. Balthazar. And Portia's like, what? And he's like, no, but like, I had to. They wouldn't take anything else. They wouldn't. And Portia's like, I swear. And he's like, no, but if you knew what this lawyer did and why I had to give the ring away and everything like that, like this was important. She's like, if you knew what the ring meant to me, you would know that was, and I swear you gave it to another woman, didn't you? I'm gonna just go punch myself in the face, because you gave it to another woman. And Bassanio says, no, by mine honor, madam, by my soul, no woman had it, but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me, and begged the ring, the which I did deny him, and suffered him to go displeased away, even he that had held up the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honor would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Pardon me, good lady. And by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor. So what he's doing here is assuring her that no, he didn't give the ring to another woman. He gave it to this lawyer who defended Antonio's life, and this lawyer, like, begged and pleaded and all that sort of thing. And it got to the point where Bassanio could either keep his dignity or keep the ring. So he gave the ring, and he's like, if you were there, you would have done the same thing. And she was like, no, I wouldn't have. I would not have done the same thing. I would have honored my marriage and this gift that had been given to me. And there's a little more back and forth stuff like that. And finally, Portia goes over to Lorenzo. I believe she goes over to Lorenzo and is like, here, give this to my husband, and maybe he'll be able to keep this one a little bit better than he kept the last one. And ta-da, it's the same ring. And Nerissa does the same. She gives a ring to Lorenzo to give to Graziano, saying maybe he can hold on to this one better. So each of their respective husbands gets the rings, and they're like, this is the same ring. This is the same ring that you gave me before. How did you? And Portia's like, I got it off of the doctor because I slept with him. And Nerissa's like, yeah, me too. I slept with the clerk. And Bassanio and Graziano at this point are just kind of lost and don't know what to say. So of course, Portia has some words of wisdom to share with them in tomorrow's monologue, which is the last monologue that we have in The Merchant of Venice before we move on to the next play. So just one more day of this, of Merchant of Venice, and then we move on to the next one. So tomorrow will be Portia's last words on the subject of rings and a little recap on what the play was all about. I'll see you then for that. Mwah.